Moonage, Daydream is from Brett Morgan, director of documentaries like Cobain Montage of Heck. This time, he turns his attention to the late music icon David Bowie. It's been a few weeks since I've seen this, and it's no longer playing at the theaters I usually go to, but it's still playing at theaters miles away from me, so it's fair game to talk about now. This is a unique type of music documentary. There's no talking heads here, just old footage of Bowie put together with footage from other old movies and psychedelic imagery. And it's almost an otherworldly experience. Recordings of Bowie's voice and his music play over it in an almost dreamlike manner. Truly an experience. This makes it feel like it truly gets into the surreal mind of its subject. This isn't just his career, it's this career told with the vibe that his music has. It's long and its narrative can be slow at times, but who cares? Its hypnotic nature is more than enough to keep fans into it. Those of you who watched my Elvis and Not Okay video know that I offhandedly brought up my feelings on Starman, a terrible Bowie biopic that was made against the Bowie estate's wishes, so they didn't even give them the rights to his music. Well, this one was endorsed by the Bowie estate, who actually granted the filmmakers access to their vast archives of Bowie footage. See, this was made by people who love Bowie for people who love Bowie. This is a great experimental documentary that captures the spirit of its subject. Yeah, I don't really have anything else to say about it, but I'm not sure if I have much more to say about any other movie that could be mentioned in this spot of the video. I figured I'd better at least go with the best of those movies.
With a wonderful motion picture, Walt Disney Productions, Pete's Dragon.
Wow, that's great. You're the most wonderful dragon in the whole world.
You're never too old to feel young. Pete's Dragon.
House of the Dragon just finished its first season last Sunday, the highly anticipated prequel to Game of Thrones created by George R.R. Martin and Ryan J. Condal. I'm very surprised that according to IMDb, that last guy didn't have any involvement in Game of Thrones. He was a writer for Rampage, 2014's Hercules, and created some show called Colony, but apparently that's enough to make a good Game of Thrones prequel. Whatever Colony is, it must have been highbrow enough to cancel out those other two. This one follows the history of the Targaryen kingdom. They're the most interesting one to make a prequel to because they have dragons. That automatically makes them better than everyone else. Now, Game of Thrones famously did not end on a high note, but this season is more early Game of Thrones than late Game of Thrones. It shows pretty much the same promise as the first season did. Yeah, that's right, the good Game of Thrones is back now. It's the same, even down to having the exact same theme music, and I mean the same in the best possible way. It has the intriguing and unpredictable plotlines about murder and power, in addition to the sex, violence, and incest stuff that this franchise was unfortunately at times known for, despite being better than that. But this one is more ambitious, taking place over many decades, with time jumps between some episodes that are so radical that they need to recast everybody with older actors. I liked the first season of the original show, but didn't really love it until it went on and the plot thickened. I think the same could apply here. But this season is definitely good and definitely sets the stage for greatness. After that ending, I can definitely see this turning into something truly amazing. This is almost as good as the first season of Game of Thrones. It doesn't quite have its Tyrion Lannister or Khaleesi yet, a clear fan favorite character, but it does have the same intrigue and twists and turns that made everyone fall in love with the original, up to a point. Let's hope this doesn't suffer the same fate as its predecessor. Also, while getting the screenshot for Game of Thrones' Rotten Tomatoes score, I found that Season 7 was praised for fleshing out the female characters, and then they immediately screwed up those characters in Season 8. Anyway, join my Patreon to help me be able to keep doing this. Link in the description.